evening and welcome to your Monday, August 12, 2024 edition of the Evening News. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for joining us. Let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. More power solutions needed for BARTICA as population demand grows, says Mayor. GTU willing to accept 20% salary increase for teachers. Drivers flee scene after killing pedestrians in separate accidents in BERBICE, LINDEN. Interrogate your leaders, don't be deceived by suits and ties, says EDGHILL. FETE 2024 slated for August 17 and 18 at Promenade Gardens. And in sport, crowd flocks local box office as CPL tickets go on sale. First 20 patrons receive free GAW merchandise. Now for the news in detail. As more housing schemes are opening up in the area and the local population grows, there will be a need for more power solutions to power the township of BARTICA in Region 7. This is according to Mayor Anthony Murray, who noted that talks have already begun about adding another engine to the local power station. Here is Michael Henry with our lead story tonight.
Residents of BARTICA in Region 7, Kuyuni Mazaruni, were last week left without electricity for approximately 16 hours following the shutdown of 2 out of the 3 Guyana Power and Light BARTICA power plant generators. The unavailability of the 3 critical units significantly reduced the plant's power generating capabilities, and according to Mayor Anthony Murray, the situation has highlighted the vulnerability of the local power supply. And he contended that as the demand for electricity in the township grows, the relevant authorities will have to make the necessary investments to keep up.
In the near future, I think they need a much more bigger, larger engine that could handle the capacity as is needed. And based on the report from the guy who came from Jackson, I think they already started doing evaluation for that. So probably soon to be purchased. Once everything finished, went through the process and everything and do the procurement. They always have to have one on the ground for standby, because when you have to do the servicing, you cannot take down all the engines. You take them one at a time so that the other one standby would step in and handle the load with the other one. New housing scheme coming on board. The other areas also that persons are now applying for service connection and so forth. And the capacity is now warranted for a larger engine.
Meanwhile, certain areas in BARTICA are also powered by the 1.5 megawatts solar farm situated at Dag Point. But according to the mayor, additional infrastructure is needed in order to truly maximize the capacity of that solar farm.
So we have the solar farm that they did launch, but I think there's something that they have to relook at. Where the storing of the current that is needed. Because if you have a cloud cover, certainly the current that is being pushed by the solar is being utilized quickly.
It was reported that this solar farm, commissioned in 2023, would provide clean renewable energy to over 3,000 residents of BARTICA and its surrounding communities. Michael Henry, The Evening News.
The Guyana Teachers Union has once again rejected another salary increase proposal from government, causing the two parties to go back to the negotiation table. However, as we hear in this Trishelle Sober's report, the union is willing to accept as low as a 20% increase in salaries.
After meeting last Thursday, government through the Education Ministry proposed a 9% across-the-board increase for teachers for 2024 and later revised it to 10% after the Guyana Teachers Union rejected the offer. The Evening News understands that over the weekend, the union's General Council held meetings with its members to discuss the latest proposal. However, while some members wanted to take the 10% increase being offered, majority were against it. Ultimately, GTU decided to reject the offer, which was the third offer from government. In an invited comment, the union's General Secretary, Coretta MacDonald, disclosed that members are adamant about negotiating for a higher percentage.
Members have voiced their disapproval over the weekend, and they're indicating positions with regards to percentages that they want to accept. One of the reasons the ministry is highlighting or is insisting is that if they give higher percentage to teachers, then it will have implications for the other sectors. to remind them that the joint services got increases and the members within the joint service, they were debunched. Nurses got increases. They too were debunched, but teachers are still bunched together. In addition to that, our members have said, they've highlighted the fact that over the years, during during the 4 years period of the government, they've seen several supplementary budgets going to Parliament, and they're wondering why there cannot be a supplementary budget that includes increases in salaries for teachers.
According to McDonnell, the union will continue to negotiate in good faith in hopes that government provides a proposal for salary increase within the 20% margin.
Prepared to accept a percentage that offers a livable, that is livable. So if the government is willing to offer 20%, wow, teachers will be jumping for joy.
Bilateral talks between the ministry and the union on the new 2024 to 2026 multi-year agreement commenced on July 11, after months of prolonged industrial action by teachers. Prior to this, GTU had been pushing for a backdated collective bargaining agreement, but the government, through the Education Ministry, has maintained that it is fully prepared to work on a multi-year agreement from 2024 and not 2019, as initially demanded by the union. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
A pedestrian was on Saturday evening killed in an accident along the Cromar public road currently in Berbice, Region 6. Dead is 44-year-old Simone Thompson, who was knocked down by motorcar PHH 4644, driven by a resident of number 69 Village, currently in Berbice. Reports are that Thompson, who resided at Cromar, was crossing the road when she was struck down by the motorcar at around 20 hours 15. As a result of the collision, the pedestrian fell on the road surface, where she received injuries about her body. She was picked up by a public-spirited citizen in an unconscious condition and taken to the Port Moran Public Hospital, where she was pronounced dead on arrival. Meanwhile, police said following the crash, the driver came out of the vehicle and ran away. The vehicle is presently at the Wim Police Station to be examined by a licensing and certifying officer. Meanwhile, a man who was driving under the influence of alcohol fled the scene after he knocked down and killed a pedestrian at Washer Pond Public Road, Mackenzie, Linden, Region 10. The victim's identity remains unknown, according to the police, which reported that the pedestrian was a homeless person. The police report states that the accident occurred at around 4 hours 40 on Sunday and involved motorcar PHH 2656, which was being driven by a 26-year-old man from Cinderella City, Amelia's Ward, Linden. Police said after knocking down the pedestrian, the driver fled the scene. The pedestrian was picked up sometime later in an unconscious state and taken to the Linden Hospital complex, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Meanwhile, police ranks acting on information arrested the 26-year-old driver at his residence. He, along with the vehicle, which had visible damage to the right side front portion, was taken to the Mackenzie Police Station. Breathalyzer tests conducted on the driver showed 0.94% and 0.95% micrograms. The driver remains in custody as the investigation continues. Coming up, $475 million Cemetery Road project to be completed by midnight, and contractors will be required to consolidate work to meet project deadlines, says President Ali. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Transitions Light Intelligent Lenses. Pick your color. Choose your style. Available at Optique Vision Care.
Did you know that Gassie's Jet A1 fuel is a type of aviation fuel specially formulated for turbine engines? Jet A1 fuel is safer to handle and transport than any other fuel types due to its high flash point and low volatility. It also boasts a high energy content, enhancing aircraft performance and efficiency. So whether traveling for business or pleasure, choose Gaio's Jet A1 fuel for a safe, reliable, and efficient flight.
Miners, welders, and contractors. Have broken parts caused you tremendous downtime? Do you need an extra heavy-duty, dependable welding machine that will get the toughest jobs done and can also double as a generator to power all of your tools? Well, your #1 industrial solutions provider Sylvies has you covered. We currently have in stock the Hobart Champion Elite Arc Welder and Generator. This capable electric start generator produces up to 11,000 watts of AC power to run tools, work lights, or backup power during an outage. It can simultaneously deliver 150 amps weld output and 8,000 watts of generator power and can run up to 14 hours on one 12-gallon tank of gas. This portable generator handles mild steel, stainless steel, and cast iron with a maximum thickness of ½ inch in a single pass. So what are you waiting for? If you can't make it to our 31 High and Hatfield Streets Georgetown location, we can deliver. Give us a call on 227-6226 or WhatsApp us on 623-7755 or visit our website sylviesonline.com. Sylvies Industrial Solution, proudly serving Guyana for over 4 decades.
Exciting news! The capping stack has arrived in Guyana. In the unlikely event of an oil spill, this vital equipment is placed over a blown-out well to stop or redirect the flow of hydrocarbons, ensuring a rapid and effective response. With the capping stack now in hand, Guyana stands out as one of just 2 oil-producing nations in the region with such a crucial safety measure readily available. This marks another significant step towards ensuring that Guyana produces oil and gas safely and sustainably.
Is we on again? Hello, is we on again?
Remember when you left me on the tree? Well, it's me time for left you. Why? It's we on again.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. Officials are assuring that the long-awaited $475 million Cemetery Road Rehabilitation Project, which had commenced some 2 years ago, will finally be completed by midnight tonight. The project was awarded to Avanash Construction and Metalworks Company in 2022 and was initially expected to be completed in July 2023. Some 2 weeks ago, the Ministry of Public Works brought on subcontractors to help the main contractor execute the works in a timely fashion. construction, and it was hoped that the project would have already been completed. It was reported that while the subcontractors completed their section of the works on time, the main contractor continued to fail to meet their timelines. The government had said that the main contractor would be responsible for paying the subcontractors. The government had also disclosed that it was pursuing liquidated damages against the main contractor over the significantly delayed project. The final product of the Cemetery Road project sees the upgrade from 2 lanes to 4 lanes, allowing a smoother flow of traffic. Gerald Bryan joins us now to report that Guyana has the option of approaching the United Nations Security Council if Venezuela, in the midst of its electoral woes, returns to and escalates its aggressive posture towards Guyana. Here are the details.
During a recent press conference in Guyana, President of the United Nations General Assembly, Dennis Francis, briefly spoke on the Guyana-Venezuelan controversy. Francis, who was at the time on a 3-day visit, noted the options at Guyana's disposal in case the controversy is escalated. These options include the United Nations Security Council, where Guyana is a non-permanent member.
As you know, the matter of the boundary dispute is already before the International Court of Justice. It's there. And we have to let that process run its course, okay? It is what we say in the trade. It is sub judice, okay? But if the situation should change, as you are suggesting, if the situation should change, then Guyana has the right to bring the matter to the General Assembly. They have the right to bring it to the General Assembly. They have a right to take it to the Security Council. They have a right to bring it to the General Assembly and press for a resolution.
Touching on Venezuela's electoral woes, which has seen the results of its July 28 polls challenged by thousands of protesters, the opposition, and even members of the international community, Francis was hopeful that the matter could be resolved.
The view that I have is that I would want to see the people of Venezuela solve the problems they have peacefully. It is not in Venezuela's interest, nor is it in anyone's interest, that Venezuelan citizens should have their lives placed at risk. And I would hope that those people who are out on the streets will find a way to calm down and not, in fact, make the situation more tense. The more tense it becomes, the greater is the risk that it could get out of control. And if it gets out of control, there will be consequences.
He encouraged all parties in Venezuela to have frank dialogue, even offering the UN as a mediator in such discussions if an invitation is extended.
Yes, the UN promotes elections, and the UN, I'm sure, would be willing, as we always are, if invited, to help and support the Venezuelan authorities and people to mediate between the players. That is a service that the UN performs and has performed from its inception. But the UN cannot interpose itself because this is a sovereign state.
Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Minister of Public Works Juan EDGHILL has issued a call to the general public to examine deeply the motives of those who are claiming that they can offer better leadership than the current administration. Find out more in this Trishul Sobers report.
Public Works Minister Juan EDGHILL has implored citizens to start interrogating their leaders. He was at the time speaking during a special interview to commemorate the People's Progressive Party's civic administration's 4th year in office. During that program, he also encouraged Guyanese to not let leaders in Guyana stymie the current development trajectory.
I can sit here 4 years after, and if anybody comes to me with a line about your government has discriminated against a community, I would laugh because I have the evidence to show that we didn't govern based upon the ballot box. We governed based upon the fact that all Guyanese are deserving when it comes to house lot distribution, when it comes to communities where we would have done roads, when it comes to health care, when it comes to education. Don't just look at suits, look at track records, because they played a very important role. Those who fought those cases in court, lawyers who joined themselves to frustrate the will of the Guyanese people, are now coming out to say we could become the next government. Guyanese must learn to interrogate their leaders and make sure that you're not deceived by a suit or a silk tie.
Meanwhile, also sharing her thoughts on the program was Parliamentary Affairs and Governance Minister Gail Teixeira, who noted that the PPC administration's focus over the past 4 years has been to serve the people.
The ministers come and have a community meeting, we tell them about the road. And they're told this will be fixed next month, next 6 months, next year budget. And they see it happen. The access to services, you go to a health center, you go to a hospital, there are drugs there. I want to remind people in the 5 years of Granger, parts of this interior didn't have basic drugs. Did not have basic essential drugs. And that's why they got this, their pants were caught down. If there are honest historians and political scientists, not many unfortunately, that really could write academically in what this country has changed. I'm not taking anybody back to the 70s. I'm not taking people back to the 50s. I'm taking people back to 2020. What had become this country under 5 years of Granger? I mean, we saw what it had when they had 28 years of government, what they did to our country by 92. Just 5 years. They reversed all the things that had been happening up to 2015. This country reversed so quickly, it's kind of scary. And so 2020 to now, what we have done, the architecture, you go down any street, you go into any housing scheme, you go into any community road, you go into any farming area, you go new schools, new nursery schools, health centers, hospitals. This country is on a trajectory that is unbelievable. It's phenomenal.
Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
In a warning to contractors who are tasked with more than one project, President Dr. Irfan Ali has advised them that they will be required to work on these lots simultaneously to meet project deadlines. Here are the details from Jarrell Bryan.
In a meeting with contractors, consultants, and Ministry of Education officials last weekend, President Dr. Irfan Ali signaled the government's no tolerance for project delays. President Ali highlighted the practice of some contractors receiving multiple projects or lots and then working on them one by one. He made it clear that contractors must have the capacity to complete work on different lots simultaneously. This will ensure projects can be completed within deadlines and avoid cost overruns.
Those of you who are working in hinterland regions, for example, you have to make use of the well condition. Many of you will have more than one projects. When you are awarded more than one project, it is not awarded so that you can do one at a time. Because you have to possess the capability to work simultaneously on all the projects.
President Ali warned the contractors that if they are unable to do their duty, this could lead to penalties and even them being blacklisted. The head of state therefore urged them to take steps to ensure there are no unjustified delays on projects.
I've heard contractors saying to engineers that when we finish on this site, we can mobilize on the other side. That can't work here. All the projects will be managed simultaneously. Are we together? Are we together? Yes. The contractors, you understand clearly? Contractors, so there will be penalty for contractors. And it can cost you your company too, because if you don't perform, you get blacklisted and you will not get new projects. This sector is very important for us. That is why I'm taking the time come with the ministers to speak directly to you.
Following concerns over contract awards to selected contractors and missed project deadlines, the government has been clamping down on loopholes within the procurement system. These efforts have included establishing a contract compliance unit within the Legal Affairs Ministry and other units within various ministries to assess contractors. Jarrell O'Brien, The Evening News.
CROFET 2024 is back, and this year's focus aims to educate persons about the importance of moisture in hair care. Trishelle Sobers spoke with co-founder of this event, Tamika Henry Fraser, about what persons can expect from this year's edition. Here is this story.
Created with the purpose to empower women and girls to embrace the uniqueness of their naturally textured hair, nurture conversations on self-confidence, and celebrate the joy of caring for curly hair while aiming to eliminate stereotypes surrounding natural hair, CurlFet is recognized as one of the largest curated annual natural hair beauty and wellness exhibitions in the Caribbean. The highly anticipated event guarantees sheer excitement, positive energy, and high spirits as it brings together hair and beauty enthusiasts in a diverse and inclusive space to engage with a variety of brands on display by dozens of entrepreneurs. In fact, co-founder Tamika Henry Fraser said over 50 vendors have already signed up to be featured at the two-day event, set for August 17 and 18 at the Promenade Gardens in Georgetown.
And one of the most important things about the majority of our vendors is that they are small businesses. Many of them are startups, and many of them are women-led startups. And CurlFet is one of the most important business events for them throughout the year. It's their opportunity to really promote their brand and to market their products to thousands of people. And I think that's so impressive, I think, for an expo. And it means that there are these many small businesses, especially in Guyana, creating their own products and putting something valuable on the market. And at CurlFet, we are so thrilled and so proud to be able to capture those vendors.
Another crucial component of CurlFet is that it provides rich education on cultivating a culture of self-expression grounded on women and girls boldly navigating their individual hair journeys while persistently overcoming daily societal challenges. At the same time, the event ensures access to the necessary resources they need to positively impact their businesses and lives. This is according to CurlFet representative Jovan Wilson.
The inclusivity is important, and CurlFet creates the environment for learning. Even though it's a fun one, it really gives you the opportunity to belong to a community of people that is taking care of their hair, that is educated about their hair and the identity of their hair, and that is proud to wear their hair as is.
Those who make their way to CurlFet 2024 will experience an impressive lineup of activities. These activities will spotlight beauty, fashion, cosmetics, food and beverage, health and wellness, traditions and culture, and tons more. The event will also feature the return of classics like the Carol's Daughter Hair Show, and will see salons competing to win prizes, and a segment where one lucky lady will be the Big Chop Girl and get a makeover from Glamour Beauty. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Tuesday, August 13, 2024 at 23 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the BERBICE Bridge is scheduled to be closed to vehicular traffic at 9 hours 40 on Tuesday, August 13, 2024, also for 1.5 hours.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
Attention homeowners and contractors, when it's time to add the finishing touches, tiles must be on your list. And there's only one place to get the best quality and widest range with modern designs. Gaffurs is the #1 supplier of tiles in Guyana. We've got floor and wall tiles, ceramic and porcelain tiles, stone slate, terrazzo stone, mosaic tiles, and all the accessories including tile trim, spacers, sealers, cleaners and polishers. Also the important thin set and grout. At Gaffurs the options are endless, but we make it easy for you with the experts in our tile department. They are to assist you in making the right choice. Get the right tiles at the right price from Gaffurs Macdoom Mega Complex or the outlets at Parika, Means, Land of Canaan, Bedford Acting, Rose Hall, Kanji and Diamond. Gaffurs for all your tiling solutions.
Exciting news! The capping stack has arrived in Guyana. In the unlikely event of an oil spill, this vital equipment is placed over a blown-out well to stop or redirect the flow of hydrocarbons, ensuring a rapid and effective response. With the capping stack now in hand, Guyana stands out as one of just 2 oil-producing nations in the region with such a crucial safety measure readily available. This marks another significant step towards ensuring that Guyana produces oil and gas safely and sustainably.
Premier insurance coverage for less. Stay safe.
Sun or rain? Up or down? No one knows what tomorrow will bring, but with Premier's commercial property insurance, you'll be ready. For all risks insurance, call 223-0840 or visit premierinsurance.gy. Fuel your success. Premier Insurance. Premier insurance coverage